Hey, thanks for stopping by Mystic Messages. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Glad to see you. Today's message is from the Ascended Mothers in totality, so that includes everyone. With Mother Mary, the Virgin Mary, leading uh, this message. As always, if these messages don't apply, let them fly. You always love to come back for the next one. However, this is a message of comfort and direction for those who receive it. Okay. They want us to know that planet Earth is dying, and yet too many out there are not willing to do their part. You seek change, you seek things to be better, but you're unwilling to do the work when you're given the opportunity. You remain silent out of fear, out of, fear of ridicule, out of fear of judgment of any kind. And what the mothers want you to know is that when you are given the opportunity to express yourself, you are protected by them. When they place divine thoughts in your head, and many of you who I'm speaking to know these nudges that you're receiving in your head, when you have the opportunity to speak, speak when you know something is incorrect. You have been given the opportunity several times to do this, and they want you not to be afraid. They want to give you courage to speak with conviction. They know that you've been hurt. They know that you've been ridiculed from time to time. People, family members have left you, and you feel alone. But you are not alone. You are never alone. You are loved and cherished, and you have something important to share with the world. Whether that's, creating some type of a platform such as this, or just speaking to people in their daily lives, passing along messages of hope and transformation and positivity. Because remaining quiet doesn't help us, doesn't help the planet. The planet is dying, and too many people are refusing to do what's necessary to save it. Everybody's waiting for the next person to do it, and unfortunately, it just doesn't work that way. In order for us to make the change that we want, we have to work together. For instance, when I began this platform, I didn't know exactly what God was asking me to do or wanted me to do. And that might be confusing to a lot of viewers out there because I wasn't totally sure myself exactly what it was I was supposed to be doing. But as this journey has progressed for me, I'm starting to get a clearer idea of what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, I can do tarot readings like other people do. I can do, I don't even need tarot cards. I can just sit here and read people. But there's so many out there that that's not necessary for me to be doing that. My specific job is different. I'm here to inform the world to hopefully prevent catastrophes from happening out there. To prevent the bad things because there is change coming, and many people are refusing to awaken to what's happening around them. They're refusing to see the reality of the spiritual war that's actually going on. Okay, we might look like it's a three-dimensional war because we're in a 3D reality, but there's a lot more to it and a lot more behind that. And this is for the soul of every individual on this planet. Now we all have choices, we all have opportunities, but it's up to us to make the decision what we're going to do with the choices and the opportunities that we're given. Are we going to remain silent and wait for someone else to do all the work and then expect to receive all the benefits? Or are we going to get the courage within ourselves that Spirit has placed within you so you can communicate to the world? Okay? And you have to remember, you know, if God's for you, who could be against you? Okay? Yeah, you're going to run into people that are going to dislike what you have to say. But 9 times out of 10, they dislike it because it's the truth. Unfortunately, people don't want to hear the truth. They rather hear nonsense, and that's not helping. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. That's not what I do. That's not what I'm about. You know, and I'm not perfect myself. I struggle. I struggle with this on a daily basis. You know, I wonder, is what I'm doing having any impact out there? but I'm being reassured that this is how it's supposed to be going, you know. And this is not for me. I've mentioned this many times before. I did not want to do this. I really didn't. It wasn't my thing, but God had planted this in me and said, you have to do this. This is something that I assigned for you to do, and you have to do it if you want to walk with me. And so I decided I want to walk on the side of righteousness, not with the rest of the world who is asleep. I want to be awake. And is that a painful experience? Yes. Because unfortunately, those like me know where we're headed. And there's too many people that just don't want to face the facts of the reality of where we're headed. They want to remain with their head in the sand. They don't want to pay attention to the signs that are being given before them and always looking for somewhere else for the answer. And many are doing it a lot of times out of selfish reasons because they don't want to, you know, help others. They're just concerned about themselves. And that's the problem. Everybody needs to stop being concerned just about themselves and start thinking of this planet as a whole, that we're all one and we're all connected. We need to be spreading love, knowledge, truth, because bullshit doesn't fly and it doesn't get you anywhere. In order for us to make the change that we want, we have to do it together. I can't do this alone. I know I have other brothers and sisters out there. They're each doing their part in their own way. Okay? Whether they're doing it reading tarot cards, whether they're just giving messages, prophetic messages, whatever the case may be. But they're doing their part. But yet, it's only a small minority who are doing it, who are putting their heads out there. Okay? Who are placing ourselves before people, putting ourselves out there to be ridiculed, to be maligned. And that's cool. We accept that because we understand our purpose. And each and every one of us has been given a specific purpose, whatever that purpose is, and only you know deep within inside yourself. That consistent nudge that keeps, gnawing inside you, that you're ignoring. That's your nudge. That's your purpose. Whether that's to be a teacher, a nurse, a healthcare worker of any kind, a counselor, whatever it is, it's all a purpose of service. Service to other human beings, service to the planet. And we need to get back to basics with that. We need to start loving ourselves enough to understand and see where we're being manipulated by the powers that be, by politicians in general, by churches out there, by the dozens that are nothing but money making machines for the people who run them. That's not what it's about. And those are not true places of the divine. And you know this within yourself. When you go to church and there's some kind of play going on or some kind of theatrical event, that's not what church is supposed to be about. It's about community. It's about getting together, helping each other. Okay? Realizing that there's something greater than yourself out there. If that's what you like to do, if you like to go to church, again, that's not necessary. You can worship all by yourself. You don't need an intermediary. You don't. God has provided for that. You can talk to God anywhere. You can talk to God in your bed at night, in your car. Doesn't matter. But build that relationship. When I'm getting a message right now, there are people out there that I'm speaking to that get what I'm saying, and it's touching your heart. Follow that voice. Follow that nudge, because it's going to bring you where you want to be. And you could do it. You have the strength. Don't listen to the voice in your head, the conditionings of the 3D reality of the matrix that tell you you're not good enough, or what you have to offer is not important, or what you have to say is not important. Everything is important and everything counts. And if God placed something within you, then you need to express it. And that's what the ascended mothers are here to tell you. If God puts an intention inside of you, they're here to ensure and protect you, to make sure you're able to express that thought, express that feeling, to do the work that you're being asked to do, not to remain silent, not to cower. Because when we cower, we get defeated. And then it's our fault. It's our fault when we do nothing. It's our fault when nothing happens. But at least if we try, we're showing the opposing forces that we're not willing to lay down and take whatever they're throwing at us. We're willing to want to see the truth for what it is. We want to see reality for what it is. And we want to make the change. And the Ascended Mothers want to help you make that change. So call upon them for courage, for strength, for guidance, for protection. They'll be there for you. And I know it's not easy. I know you're probably looking at me and saying, what's this nut talking about? But I'm just trying to do my part to help encourage people, to give people strength, to let them know that they can make change. They have to be the change, though, to receive what they want in this world. It's that simple. It's all about vibration and frequency. You put out good long enough, and eventually it'll come back to you. And that's not to say you're not going to have bad days and you're not going to struggle, because I struggle myself. I get a lot of spiritual attacks thrown towards me, and I fight them off daily. And I count on God. I just leave it in God's hands and say, you know what, please take it from me. Deal with it. Because I have that faith knowing that even though, yes, I'm being attacked by, a lot of different places, it's cool, because that's just part of being who I am. And I've learned to accept that. It's not easy, but I've learned to accept it. And it's just part of who I am. It's part of what makes me me. And it's part of what gives me the ability to come out here and encourage others who are struggling right now, others who are feeling afraid. I want to bring you peace, and so do the Ascended Mothers. They want to wrap you in their holy mantles. They want to take care and protect you. But you have to be willing and open to accepting that care and the guidance. And the best way to do that is by taking that first step, making the movement forward, doing what you need to do. Because you can. You can, and you will make a difference if you do. But you have to take the first step. And unfortunately, I can't do it for you. No one else could do it for you. We all have to find the strength to do that for ourselves. But the strength does come when you ask for assistance. And that I can attest to, because a year ago, I wouldn't have been able to do this. I've said it time and time again. I am not a public speaker. I don't make these videos to be some kind of performative production. They're just as is. I don't pre-record them. I don't edit them. Whatever comes out comes out, because I truly believe that whatever's coming out, it's not from me, and it's maybe there's something in it that somebody needs to hear out there. And if that's the case, then I did my job, even if one person hears it. It is my hopes that this community will eventually grow into a brotherhood, to a sisterhood, where everyone is welcome. This is a safe space for everyone to express themselves and their ability. And I encourage that here. And I truly hope that, we could start seeing more of that in the future for this site. And if not, that's cool too. Because either way, I'm going to continue to keep going forward and doing what I need to do. I'm going to do my part and to produce what God has asked me to produce. Okay, I want to thank everyone for stopping by. I hope everyone has a great night. I appreciate the comments. I finally started to see some of them. They're appearing. I'll answer them as they come in, because, like I said, the collective is small right now. So I have the opportunity to do that. However, I can't promise that for the future. If the channel grows, I won't be able to individually respond to the comments. But I have received a few of the comments and responded accordingly. Okay, I want to wish everybody a great night. Thanks for stopping by again, and hope to see you again soon. Take care.